my 15 minutes start now?
Yes, whenever everybody's ready, go ahead.
So who am I speaking to here, just so that I know my audience?
I'm Blair Crutchy from the SCP.
Alex Moore with thatnerdshow.com.
Okay.
I'm Gotti Elton with Dutch Bureau of South Film News.
And we also do represent the official film festival YouTube channel as well.
Okay, excellent. Now that I know who y'all are, my name is John Chris, one of the writers and producers and photography models of Echoes of War, which used to be entitled A Relative Stranger. This was a loose adaptation of a short film that Kane Senes and I produced roughly 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been kind of a long journey to get to this spot right here. We definitely went back to the drawing board with this feature version. Definitely completely changed the plot, a little bit of the story, added in some antagonists and sort of filled some holes that we found that people had with the short, so that was super beneficial. So I guess it was similar to like the Whiplash scenario, to where we always kind of knew that we wanted to make a feature. We knew that there was a lot of material and story there that we really could dive into, so the short was really a shortened version of what we knew could be realized as a really powerful story to be told as a feature. So it's taken me all over the world. Kane, my partner, is Australian, so I lived in Sydney with him for a while, for roughly 6 months, writing and rewriting the script. It took us over a year to write the script. A lot of back and forth. We had some drafts that we completely threw out the window. We had some material that was lost because we were uploading it onto Dropbox and I think doing it improperly. So there was one point where we lost completely half of our script. And I had a nervous breakdown and walked out to the park and stayed there for a while. But went back to the drawing board and just rewrote everything from memory, and it came out, even more powerful. So that's kind of the creative connection that Kane and I have. That's been rare for both of us to find in a creative partner. So, my background is in Los Angeles. Moved from Los Angeles to Sydney, then back to Austin, and started scouting for locations, meeting assistant directors, cinematographers, actors, location scouts. Started meeting with money people, raising some funding, doing a Kickstarter, putting together a production team, and eventually shot it in Austin, Texas, actually inside the city limits at a great place called Pioneer Farms, which we were shocked to find it was like 10 minutes away from my house in Austin. It was like 50 acres of pristine, late 1800s property that I believe was in the Bell family. It was kind of a famous Texas legislature. So that's kind of where we are now. So it was a long journey. We're super proud of our work. And it's a special moment when you're behind closed doors and you have something that you believe is really special that the world needs to see. And nobody believes in you. You have no money. You've got nothing except for your willpower and your dreams and your ideas. And to see it to this point is pretty fascinating. But you know it when you come up with it, because that's what drives you for the 5 years of no money, broken relationships, broken families, to see this to fruition when you're not really getting a lot in return. It's just that spark, that feeling that rare. So we knew it was super special when we were writing it, and that's kind of what drove us to make it against everybody saying that, you shouldn't do your first full-length feature as a period piece. You shouldn't shoot this in Texas. Basically, everything that we shouldn't have done, we did. And, we got a great piece. We got CAA behind us, hooked badge after he liked it, which, again, was against all odds. And then other actors started following from there. So we got super lucky, super excited, really happy to be here. Again, we've had the door shut in our face by 50 other festivals. So I'm just fortunate that James has taken a shot with us. So that's where we're at now. I don't even know if that's what I'm supposed to be talking about. That's what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it or read anything about it or even know anything about our project Echoes of War, but we're really proud of it. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or anything for me, I'm kind of an open book. So.
John, I'm curious, what was the defining moment when you figured out, how you fleshed out the feature? You had a relative stranger, you had this story. What was it that gave you the full feature?
I think, first off, it was the success of the short, right? So, if we wouldn't have gotten such positive feedback from the short, Kane and I have our own production company. We've got a slate of films that, 2 or 3 scripts that we've already fleshed out, and another project that we're optioning at the moment. So we've got other options, and we kind of went to the drawing board and said, what's our best shot at making a feature that we can afford, that we can do quickly, and that people like. And so with the short, we won the Bronze Palm at Mexico International. We won Best Film at Red Wasp. We got nominated for Best Western at Trail Dance in Oklahoma, which is a Western intensive film festival. We got into Buffalo Niagara, which is in New York, with a little Western shot out in Los Angeles. So we knew that the evidence was on paper that hey, we're winning all these awards, everybody likes it, but they want to know more about Mary, or they want to know how Wade, found this Confederate gold. There was a sort of MacGuffin with Confederate gold with the short that we took out in the feature. But we want to know about Mary Riley. We want to know more about Wade. We want to know, how Mary died and how Seamus ended up out here in nowhere, Texas. And we were like, okay, then let's give people what they want. And I think it was at that moment to where we were like, let's make this. Let's shelve 1 or 2 of these other ideas that we're super passionate about, and let's go ahead and just execute what we started. So in my mind, it's like a 5-6 year project. Kane will probably tell you differently, but for me, it all began with the short. And what we wanted to do is, I'm really anti calling our film a Western, because what we set out to do was to make an anti-Western. Was to take all of the bullshit gunplay and shooting pistols out of people's hands and roping bad guys and the whole notion of good and bad and black hat and white hat and all of this silly Western stuff that we had grown up on, and wanted to get to the core of films like No Country for Old Men or There Will Be Blood, this sort of country noir that was coming out while we were writing this, and that's what we wanted to do. Gray characters, gray landscape, gray everything, sort of noirish type material. So there's a lot of influences for this film. There's 2 right there to pick up on what I was saying. But also, Shadow of a Doubt, Hitchcock's, Joseph Cotton, that to me was what I wanted to make, was this sort of relationship piece that just happened to be set in Texas during a time period that I kind of love. And Kane and I really gravitated towards that relationship of, uncle, how you look up to your family members, what happens if, I go home for Easter and I'm a completely different person. Do my cousins still love me and look up to me? What if I'm a murderer? What if I'm a deserter? What if I'm a drug user? How does that affect my family? So really at the core of it was a family piece that we knew the characters were there, so we made it.
You said this is, you were trying to make an anti-Western. Do you think this is a little bit more of an anti-war film because you have a returning veteran from the Civil War and have some of those themes with it?
I think in terms of political message or actual content of the film, for me, again, I would like to keep it open-ended and gray. I would not classify it as an anti-war film, although we definitely interviewed people with PTSD, spoke to some of my friends who have fought in Iraq. Kane went to extents to interview people in Australia who had gone to the war and were battling these PTSD elements. Definitely Wade is struggling from PTSD, which was non-existent in 1866, which is a huge topic of our film, is that we live in a society today to where, even our World War II vets really didn't have even the ability to sit in a room and talk to somebody about how terrible it is going to bed at night and envisioning the 50 people that you killed with anger or whatever. So there are definitely huge elements of our film. And that's another reason that it's set in the Confederate South.